Howdy, folks. You're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. Wanted to give a quick shout out to KiloWhat, who does the artwork for our show. Amazing as always. Go check out her stuff. All the important links will be in the show description. And then I also wanted to point out that we have a Discord where all of us hang out, have a great time talking about all things nerdy, all things tabletop. There's something there for everyone. So come hang out with us. We can't wait to see you there. Let's get on with the show, shall we?
Friends, fiends! I have found my alchemy jug, and my alchemy jug has found me. All is so friggin' right with the world. I feel so good, in fact, that I shall dive right into our story. When last we spoke, our heroes found themselves navigating the wilds of Skypoint. First, they dealt with the Mimic House, and then they went on a fact-finding mission to the Mercurial Cabinet. Let's jump in right about there and continue with more of these Demon Dayz.
Alright, so you make your way out from the back room, chatting along as you go, and you reach the table where Yusuf's been sitting dutifully this whole time that you've been chatting. Taslinn, you see KiloWhat just still doing the rounds. She seems to be more taking care of the requests of the band, and you remember that they are generally pretty picky about band care in establishments. If this were the other band, if this were Abeloth Maw, it might have been a bit more easygoing. Mm-hmm. There is an edge to them when it comes to service folk. But anyways, you guys find the seat. You find Yusuf there, and yeah.
Everything good out here? Have our drink showed up yet? What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your whiskey 3 fingers, and then what you, Taslinn, like. She knows what you like, and
anytime it looks like she's about to go to the door and leave,
Okay.
I'm constantly just like sending her back and hoping somebody else is going to catch her as well, so she stays busy.
I just there's like 4 whiskeys in front of you. I just down one of them. Everything good out here? No, don't be fucking literal about this, goddamn. Just like
he has a character fetter.
Okay, that's
keep it in character.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Well, not if you guys keep talking about it in front of everybody.
They're not
no
paying
commitment.
attention.
Stage whisper. God damn it.
Yeah, stage whisper, please, stage.
All right. Well, I'm enjoying the show. So, what's the story here, Taz?
We're going to Carnivale Mysterio.
Oh yeah, well we are going to do that. Yeah, so you should drink those whiskeys and enjoy the show.
Oh, they're all empty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Another one shows up after a few minutes of you guys chatting away. She is sufficiently busy enough, and I think everyone else seeing you drink so much has gotten the rest of the tables all thirsty enough, and you've kept her busy for now.
Because Yusuf, if we're gonna go into the maw for your brethren, as small as they may be, we need help. So either we go in without help or we go in with help, and I figure we go in with help, and that's where we're going. So now we're just waiting for it to be nighttime, because trust me, that's when the carnival is fun.
Okay, that waitress has been trying to get out of here since you all walked into the back. Been trying to keep her busy. She hasn't left yet.
Appreciate that. I know how we can make things a little more chaotic so she can't get out the front door. Mind helping me move the table?
Sure.
Okay, so Yusuf, I need you to shift this table so it's like front and center by the door. Okay?
What are you doing?
It'll be fine. I do this all the time. Come on, let's go. And I start trying to lift the table to shift it.
I move the table in front of the door.
Ito catches you and he's like, okay, all right. He's easier up to something. Like, all right, what is
He's like, oh, I know where this is going.
Oh,
I'm going to stand up on the table after we shift it. And I will pull out my tarot deck
Okay.
And just kind of loud enough so everybody in the table area can hear me because the band hasn't fully started playing it.
Yeah.
We'll just be like, anybody want to see if they can beat the reigning champion of cards? 100 gold pot to start.
You're gonna go, oh, fuck, all right. He looks to the band. It'll be a moment. And they all like, oh, okay. And everyone else at the other table's like, all right, let's see what you got. Various versions of that. Like, okay, fine. And like, all right, and maybe even some who are newer don't necessarily know who you are, don't know what hurt they're in for. And yeah, everyone starts shifting their tables around. KiloWhat's like, okay, what's going on? She just kind of chills near the bar, waiting to be flagged down. She's unsure what's going on. But Ito's like, it's okay. Taslinn's up to her usual. This place is gonna get fun.
I'm just scanning the crowd. You know what I mean? Nonchalantly at this point for anyone to get weird.
No, the only one who's weird and trying to hide it is KiloWhat. Everyone else is interested in this game of this 100 gold pot.
Yeah, to start. But, I mean, as people start gathering, being like, buy-in is minimum 10 gold.
The first one who comes to you is, you can tell when they reach you that they're a half-elf. They have basic leathers on. They're fairly roguish. They look more like a thief. Thuri's the name. Let's get on with this. I'll start. And he jumps in with the 10 gold.
Wonderful. Love it.
And then a few of the other patrons start to get in line behind him. But this one is a fairly youngish half-elf, cocksure, thief, rogue type. You do a Google search on half-elf, thief, rogue. That like
The first image that comes up.
any one of those, yeah. Nothing too special about them, except that they're much more cocky than they probably should be. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you keep going. Pretty much everyone's going to jump in on this. Minus KiloWhat, who has to still serve the drinks, and Ito, who's like, I'm too old to lose so much. And he winks at you like, maybe someday I'll take on the champion. And the band is mildly perturbed that there's a little bit more commotion to start their set, but they're going to work around it.
I'll happily bend my attention that way. I know Taz is gonna, So there's at least one customer, like...
Yeah. The evening starts to get into swing with the card games, and you can you've got roughly 7 people who are in line who will be interested in doing this. You can kind of guide how that goes and the results.
Yeah, because it's basically poker,
yeah,
but tarot cards. Like, this is a thing that like anybody who's familiar with it probably has their own deck.
Okay.
So yeah, it's basically poker with tarot cards, so they can all. It's literally all of us playing together.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Then yeah,
it's like Pazak or Pazak.
I guess so. Like, one of the very first instances of tarot cards in general was gambling. Like, not just fortune telling, but gambling. If I know you watched Arcane.
Yeah.
Right? The show. Mm-hmm. So they also similarly they used tarot cards in that show as gambling cards.
Yeah.
So it's essentially poker but with tarot cards instead of playing cards.
If you're willing to take them all in one go, then they're going to crowd that area right quick.
Yeah.
Which means that Yusuf and Feder, you're probably going to be ousted a bit as they come in and start.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Yusuf is going to post up next to the door, behind the table.
And I'm going to move forward to maybe that front table, just like a nice front row.
Right here?
Yeah.
But yeah, they congregate around, and you guys get your card game going, and that's going to take a little bit. And eventually, the band, Flip-It Kissy, starts, and you've got the lead vocals of Dandy singing away with her band member, doing like a kind of a beatboxy thing. And the other one doing more of a harmonizing part. There's no instruments, just their voices and their vocal stylings.
In my head, it sounds like Katzenjammer. Do you guys know Katzenjammer?
Mm.
Right. That's my headcanon for this.
And it's not too bad. Taslinn, you prefer the other band, Aboleth Maw. They're a little bit more jazzy with it. They're a little bit more smooth. This is a little bit more aggressive. But it's still good.
I can appreciate it for what it is.
And it doesn't take away from you. Well, I mean, let's I guess can roll if you want to roll a couple of d20s to see kind of the flavor of how things go, because you can sleight of hand it. You know your deck quite well.
So this is where, I mean, I could do deception or persuasion, but we're going to say persuasion here in a sense of more persuading the other people to either throw them off balance, so I get a little bit of a read of them, and then even a persuasion of like, that like I'm not a threat. Like it's, you know, I might not know. It's been a long time since I played the game.
Setting up
like,
some feints, yeah.
I could easily, you know, they could probably easily take me down.
28. All right, so there's, let's see, 7 of them. 28, you said?
Mm-hmm. 19 plus 9.
Well, you remain the champion through the course of the evening. There's various drop-offs. The dice range I have rolled here is from 4 at the lowest to 17 the highest, and just everywhere in between. So there is a slow trail off. As the one at the lowest roll, you feint them so hard. They were so sure of themselves. And in fact, I'm going to say that was this Thury guy who was so cocksure. You set the trap, baited it, he fell for it, and he's like, oh, fucking hell, and goes back to his seat, just like, really red in the face and embarrassed. He thought he had this. And
It's okay. Next time.
and Nito's like just laughing in the back. You got someone who introduced themselves to you as Braffic, human. He's the next one to go. He didn't account for a few different variables. Do you think if he had played with you longer, lasted longer, he might have been a threat later on? It's just bad mistake in the cards. There was another Dragonborn there, roguish type. They get pretty far. They get to you towards the end. Just they're part of the last remaining group and just didn't have what it took. And a fighter type named Mary who just completely whiffs it in the beginning. They weren't even a threat. They just wanted to have some fun with it. Didn't even try.
Can appreciate that.
Yeah. And then there was a bard who got to the end as well, named Marger. And good game. And they go back to their seat. They mask as best they can their disappointment. And Ingrid, the last remaining person, just hits the table like, fuck. Well played. Goes back to their spot.
You too.
And it was a good one. The few who remained closer to the end did a fairly good job. Just you were so much more, and you were in command of the table the whole entire time. And you guys saw this as well.
Mm-hmm.
You could see it in action. Just at your 28?
28.
28. Yeah. There was just no one had a chance. But the mere fact that people thought they had a chance was just there was a lot of theatricality in the cards. And while that's happening, you two are. What are you watching the game? You're watching the band.
I'm just scanning for anything that hops out as unusual or noteworthy, with an eye for detail.
For detail, yeah. You see with Yusuf's attempts to keep Gillimet busy, Ito catching on a little bit and keeping her busy, and every now and then Gal coming out and just be like, why don't we do this? I need this and that. Eventually a shift has to end and the night has to end and eventually she'll go. But for now, she hasn't left and hasn't been able to focus on anything other than serving. But Yusuf, that has cost a lot of drink on your end.
That's fine. She was paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, just really quick, those 7, because it was a 10 gold minimum to buy in. Did they all just do 10 gold or?
They all did 10 gold, yeah.
Okay.
I would say Thury did 15. He was confident.
Okay.
So
75.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that's our Taslinn. And the evening's festivities continue. Now that the game is done, the table is opened up again. You can return, and you kind of have your command of the tavern at this point in time.
When do you want to go?
Music is in full swing. it's you gotta be at the table. You gotta be close to hear each other. And
Fetter's the one that has the clock. Time moves a little bit different. Like,
and
can feel a little bit different in the cabinet.
Oh,
so
right, I forgot
Fetter
about
would
that.
be the person to
I'll look down at my watch and see if it's
tell
see
when
if
it's
sundown.
When it's sundown, yeah.
Since I forgot about that,
Because that would have taken probably, depending on how, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, that game. Depending
Roughly.
on how cutthroat it got there at the end.
near the end, it got pretty cutthroat. I would say maybe 10ish. It feels like it should be later.
Yeah.
But that's the deal with this place. Like it maybe if this were a normal tavern, you could have reached midnight, but we're about 10 in the evening. There's this feeling that the night is still young, especially when you see the clock. It's like, oh no, this feels like it should have been later.
And by the time we make our way across town, right, we should be
Yeah, it'll probably take, from where we are,
right.
it might take 45 minutes to an hour to get into the sink.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that
So
seem like an appropriate amount of time?
Yeah.
Right on. Sorry, I'm just getting like, and you look down and like I've had death's parlay out, and I've just been like twirling, just like.
I'll go back to the kitchen really quick and say my goodbye, give Gal a hug briefly.
Oh, you're heading out? I'm
Yeah.
sorry to see you go. It looks like you had a rousing game going.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be back. This seems to be, we'll have to, I mean, I certainly want to come back when, Aboleth is playing again, but.
They are truly the best, but this one grows on you a little bit. Mm-hmm. But how much did you win?
Oh, I kept the pot low. I put in 100 gold, but no one really did more than 10, but about 75.
Okay, not bad. All right, a lot of cowards, these guys. You were a different class of chaos.
Maybe it's just a day. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, don't make yourself scarce while you're here. I'm sure as this party goes on, we'll be at this for a bit, and then we'll be on the move again.
Oh, not at all.
If you want.
Even if you guys do move, we'll find you again.
Yeah, if you want, I can give you some means of contact or try to find you and let you know.
Oh, I'd love that. You
Yeah.
know, keeping in touch with you is always one of the things that I missed.
Yeah, no, I try not to tell too many people, but yeah, I do get privy to the information of where we'll be, so.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I gotta get back. There's gonna be more eating here soon as everyone continues this party. Mm-hmm. Definitely liven things up. All right, I'm gonna get back to what I'm doing.
Well, kiss, kiss, gal. Love you.
And they head back to the kitchen.
And then I'll, of course, walk over, give Ito a nice clasp on the arm.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
bud.
I see you're heading out.
Yeah, I have to go say hello to some old friends.
Okay. Do you want a drink for the road? And he pours you a little shot glass. It might smooth you out, or go into this raw as can be.
I'll never say no to you.
Ah, hands it to you. There you go. Just a nice old whiskey from this dragonborn. Or wait, hold on a second. He just flames it. There you go.
I down it. I'm like, Ito, you son of a bitch.
That way we can share the drink. All right, get out of here, you ne'er-do-well, before you steal all my patrons' money.
I didn't steal much. I probably spent more. Anyway, let me know how much.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what. I'll tell you what's what. That theory guy, you can get him for a lot. If you ever see him again.
Okay. Well, of course. How much do I owe you for all the drinks tonight?
Tell you what. It's been a while since we've seen you. You're fine. I may come up with something. Let me find a job or a task or something that needs doing, and maybe we'll trade a favor for a favor.
Sounds good, Ito.
All right.
I mean, I don't know how much pull I have anymore, but the devil's think is always good for something.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? This town needs a little bit of your chaos. I will, and he leans forward. I will tell you, though. I know you're going to see the Mengenalar, and that's fine. But your other friend, just keep an eye out for her. She's done a lot, and a lot has changed for her these past few years. Mm-hmm. It might be worth it to reach out. But be careful there. I'm not sure how much. I don't know. I've seen you two here before, and I just need to. And he gets kind of into a stern dad voice, like, I think there's some talking that needs doing.
Okay. I'd agree.
Set some
there.
things right with her and her line of thinking.
She gotten into trouble more than she needed to.
You two are both trouble. Let's be real.
Yes, but I do it for the sake of it, and she does it for the power. So
She is just an unbridled storm, and you are the harbinger of it. So you two figure it out, but just know that there might be some talking.
okay. I kind of tilt my hand underneath my chin with a little twinkle in my eye.
Oh, don't try to play cute
You
with me.
absolutely know how to sweet talk me,
Oh, fuck off.
While they're talking, I lean over to Yusuf and I was like, you know, when she says the devil of the sink, do you ever think like the devil of the stink and remember that awful smell that was in the house for a while? It was like really bad. I hope Flotsam got rid of that because it was like weird. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, you mean the keep? I thought you were talking about that fucking mimic.
No, not the. God, you just one track mind you. Just propose already. Are we good? Shall we go?
I hear that house gives great head.
All those pseudopods?
And you don't even have to leave your bed.
Because it is the bed. And the bed is in you. Like, you ever see those, like, Wonder Wrenches?
Stop it.
Where it's, like, a bunch of little... Or, like, you know, when you... That thing with the nails as a kid where you'd put your hand and it would just all, like, press. It's like that.
Yeah.
But kind of gooey.
The only house you'll ever sleep on your belly in. All right.
Well, as Ito goes...
I mean, some people do that by choice. But
Yeah.
It's true. As Ito goes, fuck off. And I go, okay. And I clasp him on the arm and I'll walk over to Gilly.
Uh-huh.
And just kind of like...
I've been thinking it the whole time. Girly.
I'll pull her aside and be like,
Yes.
you know, I get that it's been a minute. It's been a long time, actually, quite a bit. And there's, you know, some alarms being raised probably for you. I get that.
Uh-huh.
I'd appreciate you can absolutely go and spread the word as much as you want. Give me 24 hours.
Okay. She gets real serious. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
She just looks away and then like, okay, yeah. Goes back to her.
And I kind of like put a hand on her cheek and turn her face back to me.
I understand. I'll hold off as long as I can. And
What's going on?
just nothing. It's the usual. It's just what I owe them. You know, the drow. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, just keeping an eye out. I guess.
Anything new? You owe them extra?
No. Just if I were to see you again, just let them know.
Okay. 24 hours. That's all I ask.
Okay. I can give you that.
Thank you. I give her like a peck on the cheek.
And she sighs and smiles and like, he'll be the death of me yet, and goes back to helping the crowd that has gotten jazzed up by your game, and they're
Before she walks away, I'll actually I'll slide 2 gold into her hand and be like, get yourself something a little nice.
Oh, okay.
Just because I missed you.
Yeah, I've missed you too. She scurries into the now moving crowd of people. The people who are at the tables sitting down, they're up and drinking and mingling now. They're a bit more active.
All right, go over to Feder and Yusuf, and I'm like, well, shall we?
Let's do this.
Okay. Cloak hood. Well, duster hood. It's not really a cloak, it's a jacket, but off we go.
Yeah. Let's go.
So we walk out. I turn around and I look. I'm like, so could you just tie this thing shut? Or I'm assuming there's protections against that. Like how? Like could you just bar the door from the outside and people can get out?
If they even remembered about it the
That
second we
they
step away.
barred it. Yeah.
Yeah, now you guys are out in the alley. Seemed like you guys were in a pretty cool place, maybe. I don't know. Well, and whatever was the big deal.
So where are we going?
To, well,
Le Carnivale.
yep, to my past. Carnivale Mysterio, this way. And I just turned to Feder and I'm like, we are going to have to double back.
That's fine. Nope, that's good. I'm fine. We're all good. Lead the way.
Make our way
Downtown.
towards the sink. Making our way downtown, walking fast.
Eating ass and I'm homebound. Beedly deedly dee.
Oh yeah, no, I was sitting at the table when he talked about Becky, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Becky,
Becky
look at her.
getting hurt, but
Yeah, no, you were there when he was talking about it, and just
Okay.
Everything he said was true. And although he didn't name the place, but that you guys, when you talk, you don't necessarily name these places, but you remember it as the Wistful Wang Doodle.
yeah. I when Becky was talked about, I guess I did not register that it was my Becky. And then I was like, oh hey, I know
Yeah.
that Becky.
Yeah, no, definitely, you're Becky,
Okay.
and yeah,
Not that we need to go talk to her or anything right now.
You're Becky.
My Becky. Well, it's not my Becky, but she's somebody that I know.
so it takes you a little while.
Just to make this very, very clear, I am specifically taking routes that will prevent me from being noticed.
It does take you a while to traverse from where the Mercurial Cabinet was that evening down to the sink. And you know this, but to give Feder and Yusuf some context, the sink was originally built on waterlogged, swampy ground, which eventually flooded as the hallowed river, which you two would know, expanded and filled the neighboring basin to overflowing. This wasn't an overnight process. And over the years, the buildings of Sky Point just kept building on top of this to just replace its sinking predecessors, and that's been the journey of the sink.
It's like Chicago.
Yes, exactly.
And Venice.
Pretty much. So, in place of streets at a certain point, they just built a series of a system of docks to connect all the buildings to each other in this. There are a few places where the sidewalk still exists above water level, and you can walk on it, but even every step on bricks will have a bit of a wet sound to them, as
Spongy.
as if the layer underneath is most like water and sediment.
Oh, like the sinking city.
Yeah.
That video game.
So you get context, both of you, to some of the zigzagginess and some of the movement that Taslinn has led you on and the way she moves. As soon as you hit the sink, you're like, oh, I get it. It's not just obscuring your path in the city, but this is how you have to travel here. Going through paths, doubling back, coming around. It gets a little annoying on the doubling back part, but part of that is just because of all the paths. They're always changing. They're always moving around, and it's harder to go just from one direction to the other. Like, point A to point B is more like point A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, B. A little different. And Taslinn, as soon as you pass through the gates and get into this network of sunken buildings and dock walkways, the memories start flooding you like a dam burst. It's hard to not get too involved in your movements in the city. And this is not... There's the memories that hit you in the Shadowfell that were pervasive and assaultive, but those were very kind of sharp digs into your memory. This is just... There's nothing magical about it. It's just home. It's your domain. It's a little less above water, like... but
Yeah.
there's the sense that this is all the same, but so much has changed. And you're awash in just nostalgia and a sadder version of it. As, yeah, this is... You know your path. You've traveled this path many times. And all the paths of the sink. And eventually, you reach your destination. Let me pull that up. But there's still a little bit of time. It eventually takes you about an hour and a half of movement around, and it slows down considerably in the sink.
Yeah, I'm sure they both notice because it's not very subtle either, but I periodically will kind of, as we're walking, reach out and like touch a banister or touch a wall or something like that and drag my hand along it, or it'll linger or something like that.
Once we get into the sink and it feels like we're kind of, moving towards something, I'm gonna go, any last minute notes, any last minute refreshers, any orders you want to give us for how this is gonna go?
I don't know how this is gonna go. Have absolutely no clue.
Right.
So I guess just trust me, trust my lead.
Of course. Is there a signal you wanna? What's the signal to start fucking shit up, or to leave quickly? I mean, we don't have to set that up. I feel like it might be a good idea, though.
I think that would be something you guys should come up with. I'm having kind of a hard time focusing on that. So if there's a word you want me to...
How about hoos is to fucking hoof it, right?
Okay. I can do that.
Yusuf's eyes just kind of close a little bit. His head starts bobbing side to side.
And Candace is fuck shit up.
I can do that.
Yeah?
Sure. Who's...
Two names that shouldn't
Who's
appear
and Candace? Got
in
it.
any of the conversations without a certain amount of intent.
Just so we're clear, are we trying to lead them back to the hoose, if that's the case?
No.
No, they won't. They won't.
Okay.
God.
They are particularly good about, if they want to get you, they will get you where they dictate.
Sure.
They will not follow you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I will say, please just trust me. And if for whatever reason I take a meeting alone, trust me.
Certainly.
Okay.
There's a small chance I'll be able to hear everything you say anyway, but
Sure.
I mean, just to put that out there, but
I wouldn't expect any less.
I put my hand on her shoulders and I look her right in the eyes and be like, "We trust you."
Thank you.
All right.
Yusuf takes Taz's hand.
There's a second where like Taz kind of like tenses up, being like, "What is happening?"
And he looks her in the eyes and he says, Taslinn, I understand what this means for you. And I just want to thank you now for putting yourself in harm's way for my people. And he gets a little teary.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah.
And just a somber nod.
And I just kind of like pat him on the hand.
And I put a hand on his shoulder. We'll get him back.
He lets go.
All right. And he walks off. Naturally, the sink is where you find the Carnivale Mysterio. This permanently stationed, grounded sea galleon structure is tucked away on the northern tip of the sink, obscured by the shadow of the shelf. It's unclear if the area was once a dock and the Mysterio an old ship unlucky enough to get stuck there, or if the place was built with that aesthetic in mind. And Taslinn, try as you might, you've never been able to get that information out of Nax. He's come up with a different story each and every goddamn time you've asked. And you've tried to catch him up, but it's been different. No honest answer. And approaching this major part of your past is like navigating a labyrinthian dungeon, except it's just a maze of docks that all weave and crisscross with no apparent organization. More than once on the approach, you have to hop from one dock to the next, and it just takes time. But eventually you get this close that you see on the map. You get close enough to make out most of the features of the place while maintaining distance not to be noticed. Now, from where you are, there's a brief moment where you're not noticed. And Feder, that's when first you notice in the crow's nest atop each of the masts, you see two drow in each of them, one of which has an elongated pistol at the ready, and the other who seemingly wields nothing. these rifles. You've seen a few of them in action, but it looks like they're packing some more modern tech than you would expect of a place like this. And judging from the way that they carry these, you get the sense that these guys have some distance on them. And there's just one brief moment before they catch wind of you. So you have one more moment to do anything, but they're just mainly keeping an eye out in case there's any incursions.
Yeah, I'll
following
stop
Taz's
us.
lead.
Actually, I'll
Okay.
stop us
Yeah.
here, and I like motion for us to like get down a little low, so it's a little harder for us to see. And
the picture doesn't do enough justice as to the maze of docks. From here, this is just where the map starts for you guys, just to give you a sense of place. But there's docks and docks under docks, little parts where the water doesn't quite get. There's a little bit of maze vertically as well as horizontally here. So you can kind of hide from the view. It is a lot more thick of dock and platform
so like
than this
platform
picture.
stacked and stuff. Yeah.
So you have an opportunity here to kind of see, okay, here's what's up.
Yeah. So I'll stop us and I'll kind of be like, okay, so we can either go in up front and all of that. It'll probably cause a lot of, wait here, let me go get so-and-so. Or I'd have to do this by myself. I can go in and surprise him.
It's your call.
We trust you. Whatever you want to do.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna I would actually love for the two of you to kind of go up to the ship, see if you can talk people up however you need to, whether it's like they really love getting into things, whether it's like gambling or drinking and chatting and stuff like that, or just being like, we lost our way. And I, assuming nothing has fully changed, will go surprise next and meet up with you guys.
Sure. Right, Yusuf, you ready? Follow my lead.
Okay. And as I kind of point him in the direction of like where to go to, front entrance kind of thing.
Okay.
And then Fetter,
front
you'll
entrance.
probably notice this.
Right.
But as they are walking away, I will actually activate my ghost step tattoo.
Okay.
And I become incorporeal.
Okay.
Now, is that like, but still on this plane, or are you?
Yeah.
doing the
I
shift?
basically become, well, it's sort of, so I take on, let's see. Yeah, incorporeal. So
Okay.
I'm still on the plane, but I have the ability to move through objects and people. It'll take me a bit. They
Okay.
count as difficult terrain if I walk through a wall, but
Okay. All right.
I get to,
Cool.
I can move through objects and people can't.
So I'll just walk up to the boat.
Okay. And once you get into view, you just hear and everyone on the masts on the masts and on watch turn and
Yeah.
draw attention
Is
to
this either a nautical or a thieves type of communication that I may have heard before?
you. Much more rudimentary. It's just like, hey, attention.
Right.
So no,
but I
no.
mean something because I want to just whistle back. You know what I mean? And kind, just to be like,
Oh, a call out.
yeah, like if they're doing a little like, then I'm gonna do something back to kind of, just to be like, haha, like I get what you're doing. Chill the fuck out. Like,
It's just a call and response to each other.
Okay.
So between the four of them,
well, I'll whistle out.
or sorry, the six of them.
Yeah.
Okay, you whistle out
Yeah.
and
Hey. Everybody be cool. Just need to talk to somebody about a somebody.
one of the drow move forward, have their weapon out. Yes. Who do you need to talk to? What is your business here?
Oh, I probably would have imparted, asked for talent thing.
Talent thing?
Yeah.
All right, he's beefy boy, right?
Yes,
He's the guy that
he's
taught
beefy
you the
boy.
fighting.
He's number
Talent
2.
thing.
Okay.
Listen, I've come to parlay with Talon Thane. There's a little fucker of an incubus running around named Cessus who has got some explaining to do, and I heard he made his way this way.
The lead drow perks up and like, Talonthane, the mention of Talonthane, he turns to the other drow behind him and they whisper, yeah, what do we, I mean, yeah, go get him, I guess, yeah. All right, you stay there. We'll get Talonthane, and just don't make any moves.
And I'm like, be cool, Mall Cop. We're fine. And I'm gonna like roll a cigarette and light it, and
Okay.
just like lean back against the railing, you know, like casual but like slightly imposing.
And the other one walks off with a quick step. And while he's doing that and you're waiting, there's a moment of just, he's going to try to find him in the ship. Taslinn, what are you doing?
So, I am actually going to attempt to get onto the ship from a point where the ship is touching, like one of the docks.
Like right here?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of roughly, yeah?
Yeah. And, you know, because incorporeal, like I did my whole, like as they're walking around, turning and into misty nothing.
Uh-huh.
And am going to move through the wall of the ship inside.
Okay.
And then I am going to move. I'm assuming the ship has not changed much.
Right.
But based off of what I see inside, I will make my way towards Nax's office / bedchamber suite thing that he, you know, captain's quarters.
Okay. So there's two, like, with the water being as low as it is, you've got the main deck, and then one area that you think might be where the main, like, meeting, not the mess hall where everyone else would be, but the main meeting room, library, place where Nax and officials might eat. Like, that's kind of the middle section. And there's a slightly lower, partially submerged, where you know where the bedroom is. So you have those options.
Go into the bedroom.
Go in the bedroom? Because that would determine, yeah. So then, do you need to roll for passing through, or is it just passing through?
It's just passing through. There isn't a roll. It's
Okay.
only if I get stopped that there becomes like a roll, because I'll take damage if I get stuck inside something or someone.
How are you?
But yeah, no, it's kind of like having to push through jelly or like really thick water. So it does take me a second, like, and it's probably not anything that I would be like, I'm gonna just walk through all these walls. Just that once, but staying incorporeal just so people can't really see me.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You pass through. It takes a little bit.
So like up on the top side, I'm just like looking at like Joe Guard, and I'm like, so like where's the carnival part though? Like, like that's what I don't understand. They're like,
This doesn't seem very carnival.
is there like rides? You guys got cotton candy? Like, is it in the boat? No? Silent treatment?
Where's
okay.
the party?
Yeah, no, they look at you fairly distrusting.
Sure, fine.
So this room, this library, all-purpose room, has tons of books. You recognize these. You've read most of them, and there's this larger circular table in the middle with a few chairs moved out. They seem like they were used recently, moved in such a way. Paper strewn about and a map and all that, and a random plate of food. So the room was once occupied, not too long ago. But yeah, you've been in this room many times, and read all the books. Very familiar with it. So you have kind of this free reign of this room right now. The door ahead of you, leading into the hall, which leads to stairs going down. That's shut right now, so no one has any visibility on you. Are you still incorporeal? Okay, so you're still just gonna pass through, or are you just gonna go directly down? You know, you are above Nax's room right now.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go through and walk down. I'm not just gonna sink through the floor.
Okay, and so you find yourself in this hallway, this stair going down in this little mini hall that you've seen many a times, and you know you're faced with two doors: the more ornamental door to the south that leads to Nax's room, which you know, and then the one to the north that leads to the Hall of Oddities, where your father would have stolen such goods. And seems like given the time of night, it's maybe people are gathered in the mess hall. It's a little bit less guarded down here, but yeah, you have access to Nax's room right here, and you know it's locked and all that, and you'd have to if you weren't incorporeal, you'd have to knock, but you don't have to knock.
Nope. Walk in through the door, still incorporeal.
And you see, in just some slacks, shirtless, Nax, sitting at the desk, pen in the mouth, clicking it against his teeth, looking at documents off to the side on the desk. You see your letter and a few other different reports, but your letter is above those, so he still looks at it every now and then. And his hat's over on the bed. He seems to be relaxing for the evening. And at a certain point, he just starts looking around like, something's up. Something doesn't feel quite right.
I'm gonna walk over to the edge of his desk that doesn't have papers, kind of next to him.
Yep.
So I'll kind of perch myself on the edge of the desk and I'll recorporeate.
Okay.
If that's a word.
Yeah, recorporeate.
Totally, just made it up.
Yeah.
And just kind of wait for, oh God. It's that moment where it's like, you've been waiting for it and you're like so nervous that you're kind of like, even if I had this really great opening line, would I say it correctly? Would I mess it up? But yeah, I'll reincorporate. I guess is that a better word?
Yeah.
And just kind of like lean back on one hand, cross my legs over each other and be like, hi.
You've never known Nax to jump in surprise. He goes through a lot of surprises in the dangerous life of the leader of this outfit. But it's in the eyes. It's all in the eyes. And even you hear the slight of the chair as it pushes forward a little bit. And his face has moved more than you've ever seen it move at any sort of surprise. Like, well. Didn't expect to see you here.
I'm surprised you didn't know I was already here.
I'm surprised about that too.
Level 10. Excuse me.
And he was lounging and he stops. Sits up. Welcome home.
I kind of lean back a little bit and more, just tiny bit in surprise, being like, you still consider it my home?
Well, you've spent a long time here. And he looks over toward the bed. A lot of time here. So yes, it is home.
Shoulders relax a little bit.
You were always one for entrances. I have to give you that.
I mean, you did help with that.
Yes, I did.
It's
But
good to see you.
It's good to see you. Well, my evening was going to be fairly boring until now. Are you here by yourself?
Oh, no. There's others up at the entrance.
Oh, okay.
So there's seriously no cotton candy, like, anywhere in the boat?
The drow at the step is like, what?
Carnival.
Sponged sugar. No, god damn it.
Funnel cake.
None of it.
Powdered sugar.
I mean, it's not...
Fried anything.
Corn dogs.
You'll have to talk to the cook about that. Just stay right there. We're waiting for... And he just like, oh, what's going on here?
I look at Yusuf like, I hope this is working.
Like, I don't know.
We could have just stayed at the bar.
Nah, I feel like we need to be here. I don't know why, but I feel like we do.
All right.
And as the drow guard sighs, like, well, what's going on with these jokers? You see the other drow who went to go get Town Thing come out, quickly go back to resuming his post, but closer towards where you guys are to keep an eye out. And out walks this more muscular, very clean-shaven, in a military cut sort of drow. Most of these other drow have longer hair. This one's more buzz cut on the sides and more stereotypical military sergeant soldier look. Kind of a gruff exterior. He comes and relieves the other drow their duty at the place, and he comes down to where you guys are. I'm told I'm wanted here. Who might you be?
I am Feder Ben Augur. This is Yusuf. Your name got mentioned as we've been looking around new in town. First time here. run afoul of a fellow named Cessus. I don't know if you've heard of him, Incubus. But he owes, I'm sure, not just people I represent, but also a fair number of people, a good deal. And we've been sent in this direction, hearing that you may have some information as to where we should be headed next. So you have me at a slight bit of a disadvantage, as I do not know the town, but I know many towns, and I know many people, and I know many boats. So you would do well to assist me however you're able to, and perhaps we can reach some sort of agreement.
At the "I'm new" wording, he eases a little bit. I see. It is true that there have been incubi and succubi plying their trade here, and that has not been favorable to our business. Anything we do, they are a bit of a thorn. You're asking us for information, correct?
Yes, friend. I was at a very comfortable inn in the middle of the city, and someone gave me enough compelling information to cause me to traipse down to this sinking bog in the hopes that you could lead us in a more favorable direction.
Now, who might have given you this information, if I may be so bold as to ask?
Please, you know how this works. Plenty of folks get inspired to share what they know a variety of different ways.
Indeed, that does happen, but it just so happens that we are a little bit more on high alert, as we've been under attack before. I need to just understand.
I bear you no ill will. Let's leave it at this. I hear that this is the local parlance. We heard it at the cabinet. Does that sound right?
Yes, that does. That sounds just peachy. All right. Well, I'm not at liberty to give you information, but I can take you to someone who does have information. And, okay, well, come on board the ship. Stop waiting on the docks like a bunch of targets. And he guides you in.
Oh, I assure you, your men were the targets.
He chuckles. Nice. I will go retrieve our boss.
So, smash cut to Taslinn being like, oh no, I left them at the front. And I lean forward and I put either like hands on either side of the chair, kind of caging Naxon, and I get real close to his face and I'm like, how much fun do you want to have?
I'm into anything you ask.
Love hearing that. They asked for Talonthane.
Okay.
So I'm sure any minute he's going to come down here.
Okay.
I guess we could have some fun with, his surprise in seeing me. Because he has no idea.
Sure. I'm into it. Let's see what we can cook up. And he gets up and smash to Talonthane coming down the steps. Fucking random ass fucking people. And he gets up to the door, knocks on it. Got some guests here saying they want some information on an incubus running a pleasure place, and they need information. We could probably get something out of them. Are you decent, sir? And he takes his time to unlock and walks right in. Takes about half a minute. Mm-hmm. And what does he see? What does Talonthane see as he walks in?
Oh God. Well, what would have Nax cooked up?
Well, you mentioned that you had an idea, so I was curious what you were.
Well, I was
aiming.
just like, let's have some fun with him. So if he got up, is that a bathtub?
Yes.
So how long? Let's see. Was there enough time? There's a couple minutes.
There would have been a
right?
minute, and
from him coming downstairs after in between like us.
So Nax would have probably gone with something a little bit more morbid and funny, in that you wear the hat in the tub. It's filled up with water.
That's what I was going for too.
And something like maybe he's hanging over the desk, or like something more like, oh no, they got me.
Yeah, so I probably absolutely in the tub with the hat, filled up, taking a bath. Obviously, I probably would have taken some wine and poured it into the tub water. And then pulled one of my daggers out of my boot for him to kind of like hold on his side. So
or even better yet, so you are on the southern side of the tub with the hat, and he takes the dagger, and with the red wine in the water, he knows how to swallow swords and daggers. So he's got one hat kind of half in, kind of balancing it on his lower lip and angling his head back to be like you just jabbed him like right through the throat, and just like as Talonthane comes in, it's a dirty like roll up performance because naturally like Nax is pretty good at this stuff.
My performance is only 16.
16?
Yeah.
His was 20. So
I'm a little, nervous. As fun as it is.
So Yusuf and Feder, you're on top deck. Just the drow are all eyeing you, but from below you hear, "What the fuck?" muffled, and just a crash.
And I just I'm immediately like, I just look up and it's like no daggers out, but like I've got my hand in my vest and I'm like, easy, and everybody easy.
Yeah, the rest of the crew up on top part of the ship, they have their weapons at the ready, and they're like, "What? This is," and then you hear like, "How fucking dare you!" and just all this screaming from Talonthane, and eventually they ease when they realize that the swearing and yelling he's doing is a prank has been played. And one of the drow comes up to you, Feder, and like, that would be our boss pulling one on our commander.
Is that the carnival?
Yeah, that's the carnival.
I still don't. I mean, like,
Again, we could have stayed at the bar.
like if you took a bucket and put it on the wall, you could throw balls at it.
Tell you what, I'll walk you down.
Or in it, maybe knock the bottom out of the bucket,
Yeah.
put it profile so you could actually make a basket and let it fall.
Like stuffed dolls you can give out as present. I don't know. Anyway, yes, lead.
Yeah,
lead.
I'll take you down. Like now, everyone at ease as they realize that once a prank has been played and it's Nax at the helm, we're good. The drow leads you down the set of stairs and into the room in which a tub has been toppled over, and a very wet and soggy Taslinn and Nax are on the ground laughing their ass off with a heaving like Talonthane who's just like trying to get over the fact that he thought he saw his boss murdered. Yeah.
Revisiting your past can be a daunting proposition, especially when your past involves betrayal. There's no telling how Taslinn's visit with Nax will go, which is why you'll have to come back next time. That's right, it's time for me and Colonel Jugmeister to be on our merry way. We'll be back, though, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and ready to tell you about more of these demon days.
Time to hit that record button and get us back to the D&D radio station for all your D&D needs.
Eldritch Blast.
Christ.
I now want to...
I'm here all week, gang. Tip your wait staff.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Fireball.
Misty Step. Like there's some guy with the board.
God.
Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, maximize lightning bolt.
Okay, you know what? That actually might be a season 2 Demon Days. It's a story told through a radio program that's set in modern day.
That's like, that just reminds me of a more action-packed Hello from the Magic Tavern.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This guy totally got me off in traffic this morning. Attack of opportunity. All right.
Letting John get his notes together.
Copious.
I made the
notes.
mistake of double-sided
Copious
printing to save
notes.
paper.
No,
And that was the worst
no.
decision ever.
Yeah.
I just don't like to waste
Especially
paper.
if you don't have it
Incorrect.
numbered.
You got
I do
to
have it
number
numbered.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, but still.
I do have it numbered. Anyways, it's, try as you might, Taslinn, you've never been able to get that information out of Nax. Mm-hmm. He's come up with a different story each and every time you've asked. I'm going to have to do that again.
Yeah, apparently we're getting air-rated. Sorry.
Okay.
Nope, still going. Gotta wait.
Hold for the plane, everybody. Back to one. Stand
Back
by.
to one. Back to one.
Stand by.
So Yusuf takes his...
And take.
And action. Stinkubus.
Dog just farted.
Jesus, Abby.
Jesus, ass. Come on.
Shit.
Like it, just nothing like an air-conditioned room in July.
Oh, God.
Full of dog ass. Sorry. I should have.
Conditioned, though. It's hot box.
Don't
and now
die.
It stinks.
Do not die, please. Okay.
Fucking hell.
Let's just you're getting that full Taslinn. Or the
Hey!
full Caslin. Anyway.